Okay, I am officially recording the webinar, not 40 minutes into it. So hello, everybody. I'm Abby Hunt. This is Barry Dehart. You say Dehart, right? You don't say Dehart. Yeah, Dehart.
That's fine.
Dehart. Who just comes on to heckle me really more than anything. Not true. He also helps see questions that I don't see. That way when I'm talking, I don't go, So today I want to talk about using advertising that already exists. I don't mean like paid advertising. I mean like advertising from current circulars. And then also talk a little bit about how you're going to be searching for back to school products. Because even though my son is still in school and they haven't ended their school year yet, stores are already putting back to school stuff in their advertising and on their signage out front. Quick subject detour. Has anybody heard of these furball keychains? I have a son, so I guess it's not the thing, but I had to go get dog food today, and next door is my favorite dollar store, and they said, we have furball keychains, and I looked and they're selling really well, but they're selling fast, but I don't know how people are making any money on them.
At the dollar store?
The dollar store, yeah, my dollar store has them. So I'm going to see if my dollar store sources have them, because then I'd get them cheaper, because people have them for as low as $3 and free shipping. How do you make any money on that? I mean, even if you're merchant fulfilling, that doesn't make any sense.
Stand in front of your house and sell them be cheaper.
Yeah, I know. Go to my son's graduation, sell them to all the kids there. Okay, so if you scroll up in the chat a little, you'll see that Barry has put in a link to Merchant Words, and I use that to get an idea of what words people are actually searching on Amazon. Merchant Words is specifically for searching on Amazon, and if you look at back to school bundle, I'm jumping around a little bit. If you look at back to school bundle, it doesn't come up. It's 100 people searched it. But if you put just back to school, 200,000 people have searched, and it's only June, so that's pretty good. Also, if you put in educational toys, there's 6 million searches for that. So if you use Merchant Words, you type in the phrase that you want to use as your title or for things that you're searching, and then Merchant Words tells you how many people have searched that exact phrase, and you can sort it by how many they've searched and stuff. So when I talk today about how many searches an ad or something has, I used Merchant Words to get that. And the reason we put the links in is because it's more expensive, but this way it's $7 a year or something. Maybe it's $7 a month, but it's a much, much, much more discounted rate with the links that they put in the chat today. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is using the advertisements that you get in your paper or in your mail or whatever to look for things. So this first one, if you can see it, is from Michael's craft store. And a couple of things they have is they have this Camp Creativity. So the first thing I did is I started searching Camp Creativity. There was only 2,000 searches. And then I looked up Camp Crafts, and there were 2,000. Camp Crafts came up with 2,000, but Summer Crafts came up with 18,000 searches. So not every kid goes to camp, but people are looking for things for the kids to do in the summer. So what this picture has is this happens to be this little dinosaur craft that they can do. And the point is people are looking for summer crafts for the kids. And if you go to your dollar store and find things that specifically fit into that category, those are things that you could resell, whether you're making your own bundle or if you're going off a bundle that is currently on Amazon. So let me jump over to Amazon real quick, share the screen, and show you how exactly I would use this ad to get, to find something to resell on Amazon. Now, if you just go to Amazon, eventually, if you go to Amazon and it actually loads, You would then type in summer crafts because it's been searched 18,000 times, so somebody's looking for it. I'm not really sure why I can't get onto Amazon.
It's www.amazon.
Yay!
There you go.
Okay, so if I put in camp crafts, I wouldn't get nearly as many results popping up. So I'm just going to put in summer crafts. And I could put in summer craft bundle or adult crafts or kids crafts, but they just, not nearly as many came up. So what will happen here is you'll see all kinds of millions of different craft kits that already exist on Amazon. If you don't want to make a bundle, you could start looking for these particular ones in your dollar store, in a clearance section of a craft store by you. But like this little ladybug craft foam kit, this could easily be something from a dollar store. Or these ones, it's a pack of 12 and the kids scratch off the colors underneath. So they get this little black thing. They use the sticks that are on the side, and they scratch off, and underneath are those colors. So these are definitely crafts that you could find in a dollar store, $5.99, plus they're asking for another $6 shipping. So look for these types of things when you're in a dollar store. So that's the first thing you do. So this is from the ad from Michael's. They have craft kits. So the thing next to it is, it says backyard and splash fun. That's just what they're calling this in their ad. But it's a beach bucket and little inflatable toys and shovels and sand molds. So I looked up backyard fun. I looked up beach toys, and beach toys has 300,000 people searching it right now. So we'll look at beach toys. Now, when I first did this, we're going to ask something. You can see the very first ones are sponsored, which means somebody paid to have these show up first. That doesn't necessarily mean that those are the things that people are looking for. But if you look down a little more, these are cute little sets that you could definitely find pieces like this if you wanted to create your own bundle from the dollar store. So Melissa and Doug obviously is its own brand, but this is a great set because it's little sand claws and molds and a bucket, and this could absolutely be a set that you could put together. The one thing I want to remind you is you have to wrap it to send it to Amazon. So try to get it so that everything kind of fits in that bucket. People had previously talked about beach toys and a kite and a couple different things. You just have to remember that you need to pack it as condensed as possible so that you can get it to Amazon for a reasonable price. If you're sending this really long thing to Amazon, the shipping to Amazon is going to negate any profit that you're going to make. So the second ad is beach toys. Look it up and look for similar things or something that you could source exactly. So maybe your dollar store has this ghost crabbing kit or whatever. I don't think you'll find it at a dollar store, but go through and look to see what people are buying. These are going to be the hotter sellers because they're showing up on the first page of the search.
So you could do this seasonally if you wanted to too, then just
definitely. Yep. And this is literally yesterday's ads right out of our newspaper. And even these inflatable beach balls, it's a 12-pack of all these emoji guys. I'm seeing emojis everywhere. So the more things I see that have an emoji on it, the more I think, oh, when I'm at the dollar store, I should look for, bouncy balls that have it, that type of thing. Come on. So whoever didn't hear the story earlier, one of our dogs killed a baby groundhog in the backyard, and then this little mutt who's on the floor next to me then ate my sandwich while I was outside dealing with that. So
we can't see though because you have the screen up.
No, we're not going to give him his day in the sun today. He's on my list today.
and you said you had to go to the pet store to get dog food too.
Yeah, that's okay. That's for the other dogs. I still like them. They're still good. Now, previously we talked about rabbit trails. So as you're looking at these things, if you click on something, I don't know why. Oh, it's a beach ball. That's pretty cool. It looks like the Death Star. This you might actually find at a dollar store because it's Swimways, and sometimes Swimways brand shows up at the dollar store. So this is actually something you may find there at probably at more like the mom and pop kind of ones.
Is
But
this something
definitely,
you have to worry about, like the counterfeit stuff? Since it's Star Wars or this particular thing, you wouldn't have to as much?
I don't think so because even though it's in the toy category, it's not like a collectible, like the,
Yeah.
Han Solo character. This is, really just such a
I know a
minor
lot of,
thing.
I know a lot of times at the dollar store, you can almost tell by the packaging, like it's not real.
Right.
So,
But again, this is, it's like a Death Star like theme kind of thing. They're not, at nowhere does it say Disney on it. It does say Star Wars, but Star Wars now is owned by Disney. So, okay. So then the other advertising I have, this one is kind of, you have to think a little bit more. Oh, I closed it. What was I thinking? This one's from Target, and there's a ton, because it's, Father's Day is around the corner, there's a ton of speakers, like all kinds of speakers. Clearly, you're not going to find Bose speakers on Amazon, but what you are going to find is if you look up speakers, there were 1 million searches for speakers. Now, clearly, the higher end ones are going to show up first. But if you scroll down a little bit, on your left-hand side, you'll see a price range. Sorry, you need to be in a category, I think. No, it should still be here. Let's go with home audio. You can click under $25 because chances are something you get at the dollar store is not going to sell for more than $25. And then you could see ones that this style you may find at the dollar store. Mostly like those they look like a little ball that would like suction cup to these, like this guy. He could be in a dollar store. Something like this could be in a dollar store. But this style is something you want to look for when you're at the dollar store. I usually say stay away from electronics, but I mean like the cases for cell phones and stuff, because those are more like impulse type items. But these smaller speakers, if you find one that's in a dollar store, scan it, because you may find that it's got a pretty good rank, and then it would be worth selling.
is there a particular brand?
No, it just depends on what your store has. The point here is that the advertising is already advertising speakers, so people are looking for speakers. So you want to be one of those people that they're buying them from. So you see the speakers in the advertisements. I looked in Merchant Words, 1 million people were searching for speakers. So I figured, all right, let me check, speakers on Amazon and see what's selling. Now the other category was under like cell phone type things. So you could listen to music from your cell phone and use the speakers.
Oh, that's how it's done.
No, I mean like not like a headphone speakers.
No, I do that all the time. I have the kind of suction cup right to the windshield of the car.
Right. And then under 10 or 10 to 25, I might even say, like $5 to $20.
Now, this would be something at a mom and pop dollar store, not one of the like Dollar Trees or one of those.
Well, if it's at Dollar Tree, certainly check them, but I think you'd find them at the mom and pops more often.
Okay.
I checked Dollar Tree quickly before I jumped on, and I didn't see a lot of just speakers, but I checked online, and what they have in the stores, sometimes they'll get a case of something random and you can get it. But like these types of portable speakers, you could certainly find something like this. You could look for something like this at a dollar store. Just kind of put it on your list of things to look for.
Interesting.
Because the advertising is already happening. So another thing to look for is whatever kids movies are coming out this week, like Zootopia just hit stores or comes out tomorrow.
Oh, wasn't that the thing when we went to that store together and you saw something, you immediately dove for it and cut me off to grab it because it was a movie?
It was a movie. It wasn't Zootopia.
Yeah,
it
was a movie, right? And I remember I tripped and fell and hit my head.
Yes.
But that was all right.
Tackled you and went right for the toys. But if you read my book, there's a whole chapter on movie tie-ins and looking for kids movies. Like this is Target, I think, or Walmart. Target. If you look to see what movies are coming out this week, those are definitely things you want to get toys for, because movies are just, even if you take kids to the the matinees. I have 2 nieces. So for me, my nieces and my son to go to the movies, it's 4 of us. And then popcorn and all the other junk. You're looking at an easy $50 day at minimum.
50? We cost just for snacks for that.
Yeah. Well, that's if we're sharing popcorn or whatever. And of course, you got to go to the dollar store to get your candy before you go. All right, let me stop sharing. Yeah, I don't need to share anymore. So, but that's how you want to use the advertisements that are coming right away. And I'm not talking about paying for any sort of advertising. This is Rite Aid. And on the back page, they've got all the sunscreens and they've got all different beach toys and bubbles and stuff.
I just actually came from there before we got on, and tons of beach stuff, tons of sunscreens and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the swim goggles, everybody's approved in that because it comes up as toys. 1 million people looked for swim or swimming goggles this week. So looking at these ads gives you ideas of what to shop for, what people are searching for on Amazon. I mean, you could even do your own search straight from here. It doesn't have to be this exact brand. So,
or we can wait for you to do a webinar and you'll just tell us what to do.
That's good too. But like this is Kid Stuff is the brand. Okay, yeah, I'm not telling you to look for a Swim Stuff brand. I'm saying, look for there's like a little ball and bat, like a wiffle ball and bat. I know Five Below has a ton of them out front because we were there the other day. Swim goggles, swim shoes, sunscreen. If you're approved in beauty and you find a great deal, knock yourself out. But I'd rather not deal with hazmat this week. And then just a couple others. Because of Father's Day, this is actually an electronics store, and they're showing all the different razors and stuff to buy for Dad. I would definitely look for accessories that would go with that. Either replacement heads for razors, if you're going to get something to resell, or like this is the Sonicare rechargeable toothbrush. Sometimes you could just buy the heads that fit into that. So either a dollar store, discount store, clearance, razor replacements sell really well because, you love the razor you have and you just want to buy.
I feel like I'm having a refresher course because the last time we went out, you pretty much told me all this. I remember that. No, I'm serious.
Yep. Okay, so that's using different ads to make a list basically of what to look for at the dollar stores. The first thing, everyone says to me is, well, what should I buy at the dollar store? Okay, well, what is being promoted right now locally by you? Clearly, we're all kind of in summer now, so kids are getting out of school. People are putting kids in camp. They're doing whatever. In about a month, people will start thinking, okay, kids have to get ready for school, or kids are going away to college. Again, in my book is that calendar that says, look at all these different things. And Bed Bath & Beyond has the college lists. If you look at the Bed Bath & Beyond website, they have a list where you can look at the college wish list, and it's all the things that they suggest for freshmen going in need for on-campus housing. So it's those mesh laundry bags and all the different things they need for like a bathroom and all that type of stuff. You figure everybody needs 2 of what they have now. So if they're living at mom's and they're going to go be a freshman in a dorm or an apartment, they now need shower curtains.
Would you suggest looking like Rutgers University is the local one, it would be the closest to me, checking out the closest college to you, or does it really matter since you're selling on Amazon?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you're selling on Amazon. If any college, they're going to be similar. If you look at a couple different colleges like Rutgers, Princeton, Stockton, Ramapo, if you look at the ones that are near you, you're going to see a lot that's similar. They're going to say no candles, no hot pots or whatever, but they're all going to say if you're in an apartment, you need, what's that?
Shot glasses.
Right. They're all going to want shot glasses, but they're going to suggest washcloths, tablecloth, or pillowcases, all this type of stuff, because they may provide the beds, but you still need all the other things that go with it. And for sure, every dollar store has dish towels, washcloths, pillowcases, shower curtain rings, all that type of stuff. And they're going to need them. They're going to need all of it.
You know what? If you just learned one thing today, I think you just gave it out.
What's that?
The Bed Bath & Beyond, the list of the the colleges. That
Yeah.
alone is
And
worth
it's
listening. So everyone can leave now. Goodbye. No, only kidding.
goodbye. So long. Have a nice day.
No, I'm serious. That's a great tip.
Thanks. And it's, it's already there. You're not trying to think of what people could possibly need for college. You're going to go there and see the list, and you're going to source stuff and put it right on Amazon. And again, don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. If the listings are already there, go for it.
Would that be a seasonal thing just before they go back to school, or is that good all year round, would you say, for the colleges?
Mostly when they first go back to school.
Okay.
That's when it's being promoted the most, and that's when people are thinking, oh, that's right, we need to get such and such for school. And
Okay.
I've even found at this point, just getting stuff online for my son, just his regular needs. We went to 4 stores the other day trying to find shorts. I was like, forget it, I'm ordering them online. We know what you need. Like he knows the size. At this point, we had him faster by going on Amazon.
Just go to my Amazon store, you'll get them.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? I keep just rattling on.
I don't see anything here.
We had almost 60 people signed up, so I think people forgot about us.
You know what? You got to next time give them an incentive, saying at the end of this webinar or something, there'll be a free discounted coupon for a bottle of rum or something.
All my pirates. Well, I always try to give away at least one of my books, but I didn't mention that this time, but I'll definitely give away at least one.
Maybe if you mention its autograph, it'll make it worth more.
As long as they don't deduct for that. All right, Ruth Connolly said GS1. Are you asking about the UPCs? Because word on the street is that if you get the UPCs from leading edge codes on eBay, Amazon accepts them because they are GS1 codes. It's called leading. Let me write it down. Leading edge. Whoops.
If you go to put if you put one that isn't GS1, will Amazon just automatically kick it back, or it just goes up and then they'll take it down?
It doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be the case.
Someone just asked about they're having troubles finding mom and pop dollar stores. And I know we talked about this the other day.
Yeah, Barry and I were talking about it. We were trying to find the best solution to that for you. The first thing you want to do is a Google search, and we're trying to come up with a list of the words. There's just so many by me. And they totally blanked. Dollar Power, Dollar Plus, and then 99 cents. So it'll be 99 and then 99. It was just there. You think I could remember the name of the place. But putting the cent sign in doesn't always work when you're searching. But the other thing you want to do is check Yelp, Y-E-L-P, because they get reviews on stores. So they have a lot of places that people put in and say, hey, this is the best dollar store, or I don't like this dollar store, or whatever. But we're working on finding a better way for you guys to find them because they exist. And the other thing is, once you find that type of store, is to go to where they shop from. And one of my favorites right now is Accessories Palace. And he does not yet have any sort of deal for my people, the people in my group. But he said definitely contact him, especially if you've never done any wholesale. The nice thing about going to Accessories Palace, which is .com, www.accessoriespalace.com, the nice thing from ordering from them, it gets your feet wet on wholesaling. It's a small minimum order. It's like $100 or $50 or something. And he always gives discounts. He has like, hey, this Memorial Day weekend was 10% off this amount, 20% off this. And he sells to dollar stores, so you're to the mom and pop ones. So you're finding the mom and pop stuff that we keep talking about that you can't find anywhere else.
What about shows for dollar store? The dollar store shows. Are there anything like that regional?
The regular toy store, toy shows and gift fairs and that type of stuff. The ones that are like at the Javits Center and in New York and
There's one coming up
Las Vegas,
that I told you about next week.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Philadelphia
Yeah. There are a lot of places. I know Rhode Island Novelties is one. I have tried to deal with them, and I just hit a couple glitches. I'm sure they're a fine company to work with. I just haven't yet. They are similar. They have similar products to Oriental Trading, but they want to sell wholesale. Oriental Trading sometimes yells at people like, "Oh, you can't buy wholesale from us." So definitely looking at those types of things. And the trick with those types of shows, like ASD and wholesale shows, gift show, is go online and Google ASD Vegas. Like A as in Abby, S as in Sam, D as in David. ASD Vegas. And then you will find a PDF somewhere of all of the exhibitors from past years or whatever. Start looking at those companies.
Or just you know what I found one of the best things is always sign up for the show. They don't. I don't think many of them would charge you for signing up. That way you're on a list, and sometimes they send you all kinds of emails and information as well. So it's good just to sign up, even if you know you're not going.
Right, and you're looking for companies that say variety, novelty, or
I'm going to put one in here. I think I gave it to you. It's called Banggood.com. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a mini version of Alibaba, but you can order whatever you want. So it's just a little bit of a different approach, and they have dollar stores up. And what's the other one? Kohl's. Wait, I gave that to you. Kohl. I got to type. It's Kohl Imports.
Oh yeah.
I'll put that's actually you can actually call those guys up, and they deal with a lot of Amazon customers. They have a lot of stuff if you're interested in doing the dollar stuff, private labeling too. But I'll get the link. That's also not a bad one that not a lot of people know about.
Right, and now the reason we're giving you these particular wholesalers is because they sell to those mom and pop dollar stores. And if you don't have the mom and pop dollar stores near you, I still want you to be able to see what kind of product is available. And just because you can't drive there doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a good product. Now, one of the things I do say about those dollar stores is don't buy in bulk unless you've felt the product, because sometimes dish towels, sometimes they have a really weird oily feel and you wouldn't want to buy them. So if you're going to buy from any of these companies, Accessories Palace or Kohl Imports, order smaller amounts of things first. That way if you get it and it just looks really weird or it was painted off or whatever, you're not stuck with a ton of a product that you don't want to sell because it's not good quality. But I have never, knock on wood, I've never had something returned because of quality, because it came from a dollar store. If something happened to something, it was, it wasn't packed well or something like that, but it wasn't, I try to send the better quality items from the dollar store. Amy asked if I buy a lot from Oriental Trading. I do sometimes. One of the things I've found does well is the things that they sell for the vacation Bible schools and for weddings, but they're totally not dollar items. I don't buy the bulk, toys and things, although I know other sellers do and they do very successfully. But I've had people make huge order from Oriental Trading and then saying, no, you're a reseller, we're not going to sell to you. And you're like, what? What if it was just, if I was doing this for a school or something? Could you imagine the argument there? But certainly look at these places. Oriental Trading, if you can buy from them, and people definitely sell their stuff. What you can do is if you go onto Amazon and you search OTC, because it's Oriental Trading Company or something, as the brand, you'll find a lot of things that people are selling from Oriental Trading and putting into bundles. I don't use my reseller certificate. I just add the tax in as part of my cost because I know people have had problems.
Especially if you're dealing in different states. It's just, in that case, in that low dollar amount, it's just better off paying the tax up front. That way you don't have to have any worries down the line.
Right. And I tried buying some of the wedding stuff from Oriental Trading, and I was surprised at the quality, but every single thing has the Oriental Trading tag on it. So I'd have to open the package, cut that tag off, and then put the whole package together as a wedding bundle. because the flower girl doesn't want to tag this is Oriental Trading on the back on the side of the basket and stuff. But the fair warning with Oriental Trading, if you get involved with them, you get 1 million catalogs from them, which is a lot of fun, but you can spend a lot of money on them with them. But the one thing I can say is they've got really cool containers, like the Chinese box containers and stuff. So if you're creating really creative bundles, they have fabulous things to put the stuff in. So you'd have like, maybe you're doing a whole ninja themed thing with balloons and paper things and stuff like that. And then they have the cool little Chinese boxes that you could put with it. So it would all kind of go together. That type of thing, I think you do really well with Oriental Trading. Okay, so now back to school. Like I said, with back to school, things are starting to wind up here in New Jersey at the schools, but a lot of kids they're done for the year. And in the next month, back to school is really going to hit hard. And I used to have so much fun buying crayons and all that type of stuff at Staples, because like for 15 cents you buy Crayola crayons. So then when you're going to make bundles further on, she said kids go back late in July in Indiana. And I think it depends on the weather in the different parts of the country. But if you start buying at like Staples and the office supply stores, they have fabulous deals on the brand crayons and all this type of stuff. So when you create bundles for Christmas or Easter, you have the quality products that you paid like nothing for. Never mind the rose art and the weird crazy art crayons that you can get at the dollar store. I don't recommend them to put in bundles because people want the good crayons. You can get away with a lot, but they want the decent crayons.
Actually, I have found towards the end of the summer, Walmart will just put up, at least the Walmarts in my area, sections of, they're just discounting the heck out of the back to school stuff. It's just like probably the middle or end of August, you'll start to see that. You just want to get rid of it. But that's also something I found last year too.
Yep. So what I did is I searched back to school in Merchant Words. And if you put in back to school bundles, there was like 100 people searching it. If you put in just back to school, in the office products, there were over 200,000 people searching. So, and if you put in back to school supplies, you only got 25,000. So people are searching different terms, and that's what's going to actually sell. So when you put in back to school in office products, it's over 200,000, and it came up with pens, notebooks, scientific calculators, and glue sticks were by far the big sellers. That and also like the teacher supplies, welcome back to school, the bulletin board sets so they can decorate their classroom. But you really need to look at the brands. So search back to school, no hyphens, just back to school, 3 separate words. And you'll see what people are looking for on Amazon and what's actually selling on Amazon. Then go and look for those particular things at your dollar store. If you're going to create a bundle, know that pens, notebooks, scientific calculator, glue sticks, and bulletin board sets and teacher is coming up a lot in search. So those are keywords that you would want in your bundles. So if you're like, oh, I should make this great bundle and it's going to have locker things and it's going to have this and that, that's fine. You're welcome to do that and it may sell for you, but notebooks, glue sticks, pens, those types of things are selling best on Amazon right now. Sorry. We've barricaded the doors so that the other dogs don't kill any more wildlife, but that means my old dogs can't come in and out like they used to. Okay, so again, I'm going to tell you, don't reinvent the wheel. Just because you know, a lot of people are in the mindset of I can buy bundle stuff from the dollar store, doesn't mean you have to bundle. You can buy products from the dollar store and resell them without having to create a bundle. Currently, people get Mead notebooks, M-E-A-D, the Mead notebooks, and there's like 70 sheets, and it's the same thing the dollar store gets. If they put 3 notebooks in a pack, do it. Buy those 3, put them in a bag, use the listing that already exists, and go. I don't want to discourage anyone from making bundles, but I don't want you to think that you have to and go through the whole UPC issue and where do I get my UPCs and are they good? Are they GS1? All this type of thing. So, and what I said earlier was educational toys has over 6 million searches. So anything that comes up as an educational toy, oh look, you can see Fido. There's our Spanish dog over here, laying down. He's huge, but he's way far away from me. But educational toys really well.
Does he understand commands in Spanish?
Yes, we had to learn the Spanish commands when we adopted him because he was coming from a family from Peru.
No, I remember you telling me that. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had to learn everything in Spanish. Unfortunately, we all took French, so we didn't know anything.
Can I put a link in here? I just typed up. This is what I just did. Getting back to finding the local dollar stores. I went on Bing search engines because I like to use Bing sometimes. It's a big engine, but sometimes you'll get different hits. And it's Yelp basically, but it just gives you a lot. Like I just put dollar stores, East Brunswick, New Jersey, and it just doesn't give you that town. It gives you a whole bunch of them. So the person in Indiana that was saying that they couldn't find a dollar store, you just have to, I find they're in little strip malls, most of them, but you just have to keep looking. And I know I'm probably in a little bit bigger area, but there's tons of stuff that came up, and sometimes use the search engines that other people don't use, and you tend to find more. But can I put this link up here? Sure. You just have to, it's for East Brunswick, New Jersey. You just have to change, we are, near city and state.
Right.
So that one, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just thought that was something decent to help.
Now, I know I've shopped near Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't know if that's anywhere near you, Amy, but Fort Wayne, I know they call them other things. Like they're almost like thrift stores, but they're still dollar stores because they're getting like overstock type things, and the prices are a little all over the place. But I wish I remember the name. There was like one chain in the Fort Wayne area that we hit 2 of them, but it almost was like a reseller store, but it was more along the lines of the mom and pop type of stores. It wasn't really like a liquidator. It wasn't like that at all, but it was, more of a discount type of store. So, and, if anybody has a Kmart near them, if you get on their mailing list or whatever, whenever they have a clearance and they have like discounts on their clearance items, the products are crazy because people don't think about Kmart anymore. They're thinking Walmart, Target.
And I have to attest to this because Abby and I just, 2 weeks ago, we went. She had jury duty and she got off early and she called me and we went to Kmart, and like she just said, we found stuff like I would have never thought. Remember the problem I had is I couldn't scan because I had no signal. But there was some pretty good stuff that like, wow, I never believed this.
Yeah, so if you're in other groups and they're saying, hey, these toys are really hot, go check your Kmart because I'm telling you, they're usually in like mine, at least the 2 near me are like in grungier areas, not bad areas of town, but like just people don't think about them. They're in strip malls that are kind of going out of business, and we find fabulous products on clearance there.
And usually there's usually not people there.
There's not people. There's never people there.
I know. It was like when I was telling you that when we were there at Christmas time, it was the same thing. There was no one there, and the only problem is sometimes finding someone if you need help. But other than that, yeah, there were some really good deals.
Right. So, don't go with blinders on. Don't think, oh, my kid, all right, I only have to shop at dollar stores. Use all of these tricks for regular stores as well. If you're somewhere and you see they've got a whole bunch of summer stuff clearanced, just because they have it clearanced at the store does not mean it's not selling online. Because think about it. Even if you're in like September and you find a great, store that's got a ton of clearance summer, people are going on vacation. My parents live at the Jersey Shore, and the water is warm all the way through like the first week of October because the water takes a long time to cool off. So people who live down there, their grandchildren are coming down, their children are coming down, and they're still hitting the beach. Or if they're going away somewhere, they still need, maybe they're going down to Florida. Not everybody lives in the central states and they only go on vacation, to the beaches. Or, some people year round live near a beach or live somewhere where the kids could go to the pool, or they go, maybe they just have a sandbox in the backyard. They still need those types of toys. Now, back to school toys, back to school supplies are going to sell into the September time. And then if you are approved to sell like backpacks and that type of thing, again, you're not going to find those at the dollar store, but kids' backpacks don't necessarily make it all the way through to June. So kids have to replenish some of their stuff mid-year. So some of those back to school things you have are still going to sell. My dollar store has like eraser sets and stuff from a bunch of the NFL teams. So it's like the Dallas Cowboys or the Raiders or the Jets are there. Those are all things that a boy would want as their back to school thing. Girls, easy. You're going to find flowers and dolls and whatever, rainbows and all this stuff. But boys are harder. So football, baseball, sports, anything that looks like video game. My son has a little video game controller eraser. The boys ones are going to be harder to find. So I would definitely look with the mindset of, okay, what does a boy need going back to school as far as, pens, pencils, a pencil case, this type of thing. I want you to search on Amazon back to school and then look for things that you could source at your dollar store. And like I said, if you go onto the left side there, you can, say up to $25. So you're not going to buy, a $40 backpack. You don't want to be looking at those. You're looking for the things that you could buy at a dollar store that would work for back to school. And the notebooks, one thing I found last year at my dollar store was there was a bunch of Pac-Man notebooks, and they were from like the Ghostly Adventures of Pac-Man, which was a cartoon, but Pixels had come out in the theater and Pac-Man was featured big in that movie. So those I had to make my own listing, but those notebooks sold really well because, and they were like 79 cents a piece at the dollar store, 2 for $1 or something. They sold really well because it was a character that you wouldn't find, like you were not going to Staples or Target or anything and finding Pac-Man on a notebook. So if you could find themed ones like that, you definitely want to jump on something like that. No questions? Usually I can't even keep up with the chat. I'm either very boring or very informative today.
Well, it's because you're throwing so much information out there. Everyone's probably writing all this stuff down and probably doing searches on Bing for all their local dollar stores.
Definitely.
Would you consider the Dollar Zone like a Dollar Tree or more of, I know they're franchises, but
I don't know. Do I know Dollar Zone?
Of course you do. Dollar Zone.
Is that the one over in
There's one by me too, but the one by you. But is
that $1 zone? Yeah.
Because they seem to have a much better selection.
Definitely.
Dollar. It's totally different almost, actually.
Yeah, it's less of a chain. It may be a franchise, but it's not a chain like Dollar Tree is.
Because it's night and day, though, between the one by me and the one by you. Yours is so much better than the one by me.
Yeah, I think they just pay for the name on that. It's not like they dictate what they buy.
Yeah, because they have some really interesting stuff. You just have to look.
Mm-hmm. And other bundles that you can create from the dollar stores, even from Dollar Tree, are party supply ones. Graduation is really fizzling out now. But the $1 store I just went up to today, tons of strictly election year stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Like not just patriotic, but there was an elephant and Republican Party, Democrat, donkeys. There was all kinds of stuff that was very just for the election. There were no listings yet, and I'm doing other stuff right now, so I don't have time to make listings. But they had their own barcode, so making a listing would be no big deal because you're using the UPC that's on it. I've also seen a bunch of like door. You'd put it on your door, and it's like a heart, and it's red, white, and blue. But now they're in the shape of different things. So they may have a cross or a star or different things. Any patriotic stuff you have, you still have 4th of July coming up, Flag Day, which is less, but still anybody patriotic is worth it. Anyone coming who's got a military family definitely wants some more red, white, and blue for somebody coming home or coming, if there's some event coming up. We just had the torch run here, which is the police department. But still a lot of people put out red, white, and blue for that. We had our local parade, red, white, and blue, and then you'll have Labor Day just before school starts and, use some there. But 4th of July will be good for red, white, and blue. I haven't done fabulous with patriotic stuff, but if you do 4th of July and you put fireworks in the search terms, those tend to do better. I don't know why, it does. Okay, so if you scroll back a little, you'll see Accessories Palace, Banggood, and Cole Imports for places to buy the mom and pop kind of products. You can still shop from DollarTree.com. There's still things to be found there that will resell. I actually just bought some sand toys from there, which sold a bunch and then stopped selling. So I don't know if there's another seller on it yet. I haven't looked. But definitely look back regularly and make sure that you're on Dollar Tree's email. That way you can, know when they have deals or what they're selling.
Well, they'll keep you updated with the seasonal stuff too, with their.
If you're getting their emails, yeah.
Yeah, if you sign up for it.
Yeah, so you want to look at that, because if they're promoting it in the stores, other stores are promoting it as well, and that goes back to looking at the advertising that's already out there. If you're watching, I don't watch a lot of TV, so the Sunday paper is like the most of my advertising. But if you're watching TV and there's a bunch of commercials about a particular thing, like these furball keychains that I'd never heard of before, if the store didn't have a sign out front, I would have known nothing about them. But then I came back, and the girl who works for me, she's like, oh yeah, my niece has a whole bunch of those on her backpack. Okay, I've never heard of them. I know nothing about them. So maybe I should buy them just in case, they explode, because I can get them. But they're literally it's just like a puff ball, like a pom-pom ball on a keychain, but they've got the clip to put it on a backpack. So what else? We covered everything. I did pretty well. No questions. Usually
Here's another link. This is another one I dealt with a little bit. It's called Diazel Japan. It's dollar stuff, and it's just another unique type place. Not a lot of people are aware of it.
Right. And the nice thing is, if you're on these websites, you can just copy the title of something and throw it in Amazon and see if it's selling. If you're not currently using Keepa, Keepa, if you're not currently using Keepa, you want to do that, because it'll give you a little graph of how things are selling and what they're selling for. Camel is another great reference.
Who told you about Keepa?
Barry's teasing me, because even though I was using Keepa, I wasn't using it well at all. So he's the one who really said, well, you should be using that more. So Keepa, Camel. Scan Power I use almost exclusively in when I'm sourcing. Oops.
They just changed their app. I think I showed you this, but you didn't have it. It's Scan Power Mobile. If you have the old Scan Power app, eventually it's
going to stop working.
It's retired. If you go look, you'll see Scan Power, and it'll say retired. So you got to use the mobile one. It actually has a few extra features too, and it's free.
Yeah, what's nice with Scan Power is once you scan the product, there's a little thing that says hot list, and you can look right there from Keepa and to see if it's restricted, if it's hazmat. Everything is right in there.
Really? I got to let me write that one down. I forgot about that one.
The hot list or the restricted?
No, I'm only teasing.
So if you're just jumping in, make sure you scroll up through the chat. I don't actually know if you can if you haven't been. Yeah, you should be able to. Leading edge codes is where I buy my UPC codes. I was thinking about, usually you buy like 1,000 at a time. I was thinking about chopping them into like $100 chunks. I mean, it's $15 for 1,000. But if you guys want, I can put them into like 50 or 100 number chunks. That way you could, for like $10, you could just buy, or if I guess $5, you could buy 100 of them.
Or we could just call you up when we need one. You'll give it to us for free.
I'll just text you one. Yeah, if you just need one code, don't buy them. Just go on Facebook and ask me, say, can I have a code? And I will give you a UPC number to use, and you can have it forever and ever, and it will be for that product.
I'll just do that 50 times a day then.
Okay, that'll work. All right, does anybody else have any other questions, concerns? The other things, when I was looking for back-to-school toys, or back-to-school items and summer toys, educational toys, like I said, came up 6,000 searches, science toys, and pirate bath toys. Go figure. I guess pirates are big. And also, this is the time of year that the dollar stores start putting out accessories that would go with Halloween costumes. So they have like just generic like wands, like a magic wand with a little star on the top and a little poof, pirate patches, and handcuffs for cops and like all the different, little bow and arrow things and that type of thing. All those accessories are currently available at dollar stores, because if you go to like one of those pop-up Halloween stores or Party City or something, you'll get the costume, but you're going to pay so much more for the accessories at that Halloween store. And I know I ran one for for one fall. So expensive. I couldn't believe it. I would tell customers, I'd be like, look, you want to buy this $40 costume for me? That's great. But, most of these accessories, if they really want the badge and the this and that, go to the dollar store. Don't buy them at that Halloween store, because really the costume is the quality that you want. And then the little, the junky things, certainly don't buy something that like snaps in half immediately, but all of those little accessories that go with it, buy at the dollar store. I can't really recommend the makeup at the dollar store. Get that, better if you're going to do serious makeup for the kids. But you could certainly put together like a princess accessory thing. And little girls do dress up all the time, so that would keep going. Pirates, same thing. A pirate set that could be used for kids to play with after the fact would still sell, and those are things that are showing up in the dollar stores right now.
How about what would you say is a cutoff time for buying on those back to school stuff?
Second week of September, because the kids are in by then, and if they've been in school for a couple weeks, that's when they go, oh yeah, we were supposed to bring in, a scientific calculator, or, I need a pencil case because everything's falling all over my backpack. They kind of, kids are never like on the ball with it. They may have gotten the list on June 1st or July 1st, because she said in Indiana the kids go back in July. They may have gotten the list early, but if they didn't then present it to the parents, the kids are going to be like, oh, that's right, I need a ruler. They're like, okay, I need a protractor and a compass. Okay. And some of those kits you can find at the dollar stores as well. And, the kid's going to lose them anyway, so get the cheap ones. I have a lot of faith in kids, don't I? For 2 weeks, I've been asking my son, I need the details for graduation. I need the details for graduation. Nothing. I went on the school website, no information. Because the formal is this Friday, they don't want to confuse people. So they only put the information for the school formal. Because he's in middle school. Crazy. So I guess after the formal, they'll give us information about next Tuesday's event. I don't know how many tickets we can get. I don't know where it is. I don't know anything.
Nothing like last minute notice.
Yeah, really helpful. People, like his grandparents want to come. All right, I have to tell Barbara Everett that I've been stalking her on Facebook. She's been posting a lot of stuff live that's really great. Just a little shout out to Barbara. I don't even know if she's still listening, but she was there. And she's been posting a lot of stuff on Facebook Live that's just beautiful and wonderful.
In the group, you mean?
Yeah. No, I think at this point I'm just following her like personally.
Okay.
Because now we're friends. We're Facebook friends. So if you need inspiration, follow Barbara. I covered all of my notes. That's it. That's all I have. Yeah, Barbara is like totally separate from the whole dollar store thing. Like we're friends because she's in my group, and she posts beautiful, like inspirational things that they've been doing lately. Is it your husband who's the pastor, Barbara? I want to say it's her husband. Just might be another, good-looking guy. I don't know. Yeah, it's her husband. But very nice. I have a teenager in the house, so sometimes you just need that, time. And she's going to Dollar Tree. Okay, give her all your best information. That's all we got. We have nothing for you, Barbara. I want to say she's in Texas, but she may not be. I might be lying. Notebooks, calculators. She's going to scan everything. Start on the left-hand side and just keep going.
She's the one that says Supermom?
I don't know.
Because I just pulled up Barbara Everett, and it has a just big thing that says Supermom.
Not last time I checked. I think her kids are on our thing. Oh, she said yes, it is.
Yeah, because I see you're first one on her friends here. Yeah, that's her. I
Oh,
guess.
cool. Good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm friends with her and I'm following her too. So okay.
All right, so don't just scan. Search some things by title. And you can even cheat. You can scan, 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 and then take a bunch of pictures of just titles, like things that aren't scanning. Take some pictures. So say you go through a whole bunch of pirate stuff or a whole bunch of toys. Just take a picture of a bunch of things, like just lay them on the shelf, I guess. Take a picture and then go home and search them by title on the computer. And then when you go back to that Dollar Tree, you'll be like, oh yeah, that pirate thing didn't sell, but that Spider-Man thing, when I looked it up by the title, it sold. So don't forget to check by titles also. And if you're in not a Dollar Tree, because most stuff is Greenbrier, if you flip over the package, you could see where they bought things and then buy directly from that company. So like Ocean Desert Sales, In the Bag, like there's a whole bunch of different companies that you can buy directly from them because they sell to the dollar stores. And usually the shipping is free over a certain amount, so it costs less to buy it and there's no shipping. But yeah, search by titles. Searching by titles also helps because you'll find multi-packs. So if they're selling 3 packs of a like a paper plate, napkins, cups, you won't find it if you scan one of those items. Sorry, hold on.
We know it's almost 4:00.
4 o'clock, Daddy's home. Everybody's going crazy. And we make Finding Dory container bundles. You can, if in the title you put, you don't put Disney and you put, what kind of fish is she? I just blanked on it. Blue tang. Dory is a blue tang. So you could put, popular fish container, you could try putting Dory in there. Just don't, lose your whole Amazon account over a toy. If you're using the UPCs, you gotta just be careful. And definitely, if you haven't read Cynthia Stein's article about UPCs, do it and read all the way to the end, or just read the end, because that's where she really explains Amazon's rules about creating bundles and how to use the UPC for it. If you're just going to sell a Dory item, use the barcode that's on it, the UPC that's on it. If you're going to put other stuff in it, use a different UPC. The dogs are getting in trouble. All right. So if that's all the questions, if that's all we've got, I definitely recorded this time, and I'll get it up much faster onto so you guys can rewatch it and look at all the, listen to the different places that we said to buy products from. Barry and I will get on trying to give you better ways to search for the mom and pop dollar stores in your area. But in the meantime, Accessories Palace, I definitely recommend, and try Cole Imports also for products. We're putting Barry to sleep. We got to go.
No, I was just thinking that I had a thought about where you find some of these places. I noticed some of the mom and pop non-name dollar stores are in either where a big supermarket is, sometimes a big strip mall. And I just think I wasn't snoozing. I was thinking, and that's what I was thinking. That's where a lot of them are. They're next to like some of the bigger stores.
Yep.
So you just got to drive around sometimes as you're driving. Just keep your eyes open. That's all. That's probably because some of them might be so new you might not even find them looking online.
Yeah. So. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna try to give you better ways to do that. But don't go to the store. Go online because then you can copy paste. What's the name of the Chrome extension where you just right click and it shows like eBay, Amazon, Google?
Context
search.
Yeah, context search, yes.
Context search. If you know how to do Google extensions, this one's great because
then you can actually put your own whatever you want in it.
Yeah, you can add a bunch, but you definitely can do Amazon, Google, eBay, and you just right click and it goes right to it. Yes, and Target has a lot of dollar things at the front of the store. They have cute containers also. I have to say, like, great containers to put stuff in. So if you were going to do like a whole Dory thing, you'd have like an ocean-themed basket, like an ocean-themed can or whatever at the dollar store. I mean, I mean, at the beginning, at the front of Target. Yeah, anytime you can find something for $1, you know, do whatever you can to increase the value to the shopper. All right, so that's it for today. Price tag's a big part of the packing. What? Is big and part of the packaging. Oh, but if you're using it to store other things, take it out of the package. It's still new. Like if it's that huge one on it, just take it out of the package. It's not a big deal. As long as you rebag the entire thing to send it, it's fine. It's still new. You didn't do anything with it. You didn't try to wash it or anything. And Big Lots sells some of the buckets too. Yeah, I would definitely, if you like doing bundles, definitely look for places that have them discounted. Clearance, discount, buy them in bulk, do whatever you need to if that's what you're going to do. And again, Oriental Trading does have good like containers like that. I mean, I even get like from retail sources, like I get retail, I don't know, like Uline and all these types of things. But I can get them cheaper on clearance or through Oriental Trading. So, all right, so happy hunting. Send me messages of other topics that you'd like to see in a webinar, and I will get this recording up as soon as it processes. All right, thank you, Barry. Thank you, everybody. Take care.